Afternoon all. It's warm. Just got in for work, but I'm going to show you a few bits on Luminar again. I said in my last video I was going to show you how to do more layers. So what this is basically, it's my photo to start with, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's in Luminar basically to make this image. So nothing else. My base image, which is just of a beach, you'll see it in a minute, and that's it. So let's get into it. Right guys, so this is the image. It's just basically down sea and beach. As you can see, a bit of sea, few rocks and shingle and whatever, and that there. First off, I'm going to start off by taking this bird out, which I'm not too fussed about. So if you go up to the right hand side up here, click on this, click on erase, give it a second. It shows you what you're marking out. If you're happy with what you've marked, hit done. And give it a few seconds, and that's it, it's gone. So that's that done. So we've got rid of the bird, which is alright. Everything else is alright on it, not really bothered about else. I'm not going to do any editing on this photo until I've got everything I've put in there. So what do you do first? Down to there, go into the sky, select object, and this is going to be like a planety type thing. So select your planet, and that's what we're going for first. Now when I've looked at all these, all the shadows are on the right hand side, so I've already checked this out, but all the shadows on the right hand side. So place object, where are we going to put it? Well, I'm going to put it about here, about there. So click place object, so that's where it is, and I'm going to move this object. I'm going to go back to the object, and I'm just going to rotate it to about there. I'm just going to drop the size down a little bit. Take place object off. Right, the amount, this bit here, if you look at this, when I move the slider, you can see it starts to fade. Now because this is the furthest object, and that's how I've done it, I'm going to put it to about 50. So as you can see, it's about 50%, so that's not too bad. So this is layer 1, and all I've done is uploaded the photo, because it's up there. Yeah, so I've uploaded the photo, yeah, and that's all I've done. Just put that in it. So if I was going to use just things in here, I can't then put, say, planet 1 on, because if it does that. So what you've got to do is, if you go at the top up here, right, so all this is what this has done, and then you click on here and create a stamped layer. So if you create a stamped layer, what it's doing is it's basically making this to one photo, so you then can do more to it. So as you see, it's merging. So we'll get rid of this one because we don't need it. Delete layer. So this is now our working layer. That's what we started with, and that's what we've got now. So what do you do now? You go back into this, back into AI Augmented Sky, and then you pick your next object. And the next object is planet 3. So there you go. So you can place object, and you can just move it up here. I'm going to make this one just a tad bigger. Just move it up. A little bigger still. press place object again because that finalizes where it wants. Now that one's done at 50, this one I'm going to do at 60. So it's a bit more, or a little bit more bright than that one, or not as opaque, so you can't see through it as much. So that's 2. So again, when you're done with that, click on there, go back up to your layer, and then you create a stamped layer. Now you can do this as many times as you want to. I'm going to do it 4 times to get 4 planets in. But you can do whatever you want now. And this is how you can do it just by using Luminar. So like I said, this is one image. My image is the main image, and then the other bits in the planets, basically, you can basically get do whatever you want to. So we'll delete that layer. This is the layer now we're now working in. So go back into augment the sky, and every time you go into it, if you see when I go into this, it's not lit up anymore, so you know you've done it right and you're working on your right layer. So all you've got to do is basically click on Align Sky again, select your object, which in this case will be planet 4, and then you've got Saturn. Place object, you can move it down, and you can make it a little bit bigger if you wanted to. Move it across the tad. Click place object so it seals where it is. And if you want to do that again, so I've done 50, 60, and we'll do 70 at this one. So that's 70 now. Again, go back into this, create a stamped layer. It does take a bit of time, but this is taking its time because I'm recording as well. So you can get rid of this layer. You don't have to delete these layers, you can leave them. I'm deleting them for the simple fact is it just makes my computer work a little bit faster. You know what I mean? So I'm rendering video and I'm doing this. So again, last one, planet 1. There you go. So place object. Now you could have that just dipping over, just about there. And you can just do that. Take that to about 85. Right, because all these have got the shading on this side, I'm just going to shade it on this side as well. So if you go into edit mask, click on the brush, click erase, which it's already on. The opacity will take up to 100 because what will happen is the middle bit it'll take it out and then it's feathered to the outside, and I'm just going to just do that. That's it. That's all you need to do. I'll just take it out to there as well. And that's about your lot. So click on mask again. So that's it. Now when I first did this image, I basically then turned it into a black and white. But I wasn't too fussed on it, if you know what I mean. I'll show you the image. That's the image that how I edited it before. And it's alright, but I think I prefer the colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now make a stamped layer, because we're now done everything. So if we go back into this, we'll create a stamped layer, and then basically that's cemented everything together. So you're then done. The only way you're going to change this is to start playing properly. So once this is merged, I'm then going to have a look. We'll get rid of this one again, just to make my life a little bit easier and the computer working a bit easier. So that's the final image. So you've got your 4 planets, and like I say, they're only I mean, I could continue and I could put another one in. I could put, I don't know, let's have a look, see what else is in there. Oh, space shuttle. But it doesn't look realistic. Not that this does, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you could put that in. You could put some clouds in the foreground. You know what I mean? So you could put some clouds in, place them where you wanted to, make them smaller, make them bigger. You know what I mean? You could change the sky colour. You could do whatever you wanted to anyway. But, I mean, the amount of things you can do in this is, I mean, you could put the aurora in. That'd be interesting. That with a bit of aurora. Maybe going over this corner here. 2 seconds. Let's have a look. You see, this is how smart this program is. I've dragged this and it's basically not put it in front of this. You know what I mean? It's put it in the sky because it knows aurora is in the sky. So and that's what it's done. Now again, I can take place off and I can take the amount down. So it's just about faint. Oh, you can push it all the way up. We'll take it to about 85. See what that's like. That's alright at 85. So there you go. So that'd be, we've now done 4 layers. 4 layers. Our starting layer, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you could go on and go on and go on. I mean, if you do it again, if you want to save this like it is, just go up. So create a stamped layer, and basically that's now cemented. So we can now just edit it like you would do anything else. If you want to knock your exposure down a little bit, you can. Smart contrast, bring that up a little bit. Highlights, I'll bring that up a little bit. Shadows can go down, just so it's a little bit darker. AI enhance, so you can bring that up. Sky enhancer. AI structure, won't need a lot of that, just a bit. Colour, you can bring them up. So it's more bluey. Take the vibrance down a little bit. You know what I mean? You can play and play and play. You know what I mean? You could be there forever. Denoise, you're not going to need. Detail enhance, you're not going to say. Landscape, I mean, you can put a vignette if you really want to. We'll go black, I think, or dark, we should say. Go for a darker vignette. So if you go for the vignette, you can go for a dark one. And you can resize it. You know what I mean? So it's just a little bit. I mean, you've got to remember that this was a photo taken on a summer's day, and this is what I've done to it. Now, with everything that you can do on this program, it's interesting to see what you can do just by what they've got in the program. I mean, you've got the sky replacement. The skies you've got are massive. Not only that, you can download new skies. You obviously pay for the new ones, but you can do your own skies. You can do your own bits. It's just, well, it's no ending. You can do whatever you want to anyway. So that's the video, guys. So that's the image, and to say it's easy to do, for me, I think it is. It's a lot easier than Photoshop. I mean, people who use Photoshop all the time will probably tell you different. But for me, this is easier than Photoshop is. That's my son just falling through the door by the sounds of it. But like I say, Luminar 4 itself, overall, I find it easier. I mean, try it yourself. Link below, 7-day free trial. If you fancy it, if you want to buy it, I think it works out to be £54. There's a code down there, Luminar-FRIEND. If you use that, you basically save $10, which works out to be about £8. So you're going to get it for £46, and that's a one-off payment. Anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. Give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.